Don't be afraid to get a little funky. Oh! All right, this one starts with giving us a nice black backdrop. Definitely one of the cheapest RGB light bars out there. And I'm gonna go return my wife's shoe before she notices. All right, shot number one. We're gonna be using the LUXCEO RGB light bar. We're gonna connect it to the app, and we're actually gonna use our phone to get a live photo of this computer. I'm gonna create a pulsing effect across the computer. It should look pretty sick. I know it looks pretty sick because I've already tried it. I'm gonna go into the camera on my app itself. I'm gonna go to photo, swipe up, and I'm gonna set the timer to 3 seconds and change the aspect ratio to 16:9 since I want this to actually be a completely vertical photo. We're gonna shutter release, and then we're just gonna wave the light across here. I'm gonna start going on, as soon as the shutter goes. Ready? Tap on the photo, swipe up, and then go to bounce. And it should move back and forth. Like, see, that looks pretty cool. And then from this point, you can just play around with different light settings, at which point you're moving across the laptop. You see how the shadows move across the back, which actually looks pretty cool. All right, this one starts with giving us a nice black backdrop. So this is obviously quite a common effect, but we're gonna have a split toning across us. So we'll have one color over here, another color here. And we're gonna do that as simply as just by, so I've got them both connected to the app. We're gonna have one of them, I don't know which one's which. So we'll have that one as red. No, we're not. We're gonna do pink. And then this one, a teal, like that. And then we'll just go back and forth with a couple of pictures until we get one that works. Just change the position. You can go from the side, you can go from the back, or directly from the front. And you want to get 2 different tones across your face, really, or whatever the subject is. So I'll be about another, I don't know, 30 minutes getting a good photo, but for you, here's what we got. All right, number 3 isn't exactly photography related, but this is a good way to reason with why you should have all this gear. So one of the really good things about this, magnetic, that's one place. If I could hit it, boom arm, done, done. These boxes over here have some level of iron in them, so it's gonna stick to them. And then something else I noticed, there we go, perfect. So when you start telling your missus, your girlfriend, your husband, whatever, that you need more gear, you can tell them that you're gonna use it around the house for housework, including this one. What is that? All right, let's get on to number 4. It's a new day, that's why we've got new clothes on. You may have seen my recent tutorial on how to create the hologram effect. And what really brought this together was this light. I've got it on a monitor mount. It's kind of like a twivel head, because it's not a full swivel, so we'll call it a twivel, 2 dimensions. We've got that just out of frame, pointing down at us. And then we've got the app on our phone, which as we pick up the phone, we're gonna be pressing the on button to actually make it project light. And I feel like this really adds to the hologram effect. So here's an example of it without the additional blue light. And then here is the example with the blue light. Now, one of the considerations I had was, look at my hands here. Look at how the blue light's on my hands. I thought, that's not very good. We don't want that because the projection should be coming at us. But a hologram, you can see it from all angles. So the light should be projecting everywhere. So it should be projecting from the hologram down at your hands and everything. So I thought that would be best to do. All right, so you may have noticed the last section ended pretty abruptly, and that's because I got a notification to say that Adobe Lightroom, this is also not the most flattering angle, just posted one of my reels on their story, which was pretty mad. But for this one, we're gonna take a product like a shoe, so Air Force One, and we're gonna do some light painting. Who doesn't love a bit of light painting? So all I'm doing here is just attaching what is a phone holder to this pole, and this is gonna be our balancing point for the shoe itself. So we'll drop this down a bit. That'll do. Grab our shoe, I'm just gonna stick it on top. Then you grab your light bar, and the best thing is, you can use whatever color you want. You can also have this changing between colors. Don't mind me, I'm just grabbing a 3rd tripod. I swear, the more you get into this videography stuff and photography, whatever, you can never have enough tripods. It's ridiculous. So typically I wouldn't use an ND, or in this case a VND, but because we want the extra light in here for the purposes of this, we're gonna have to use one. And when you're doing this, you're gonna want to keep your ISO as low as possible. So you're gonna look at 100, potentially even lower. And then you're also gonna want to crank your aperture. So I'm gonna shoot this on f/22. Again, it's a trial and error type thing. So you wanna try something, check it out, tweak things. Just try not to push your ISO way too high. And perhaps you do need to introduce more light into your shot as background. Whenever you're doing this, I'd recommend always going on to self-timer. I'm gonna go for a 2-second timer. And settings currently are shutter speeds 1 second. Then we have f/20, ISO 100. Let's try this out. And then we get a shot with a light beam across it. Beautiful. Don't be afraid to get a little funky. Oh! All right, so I'm also going to attach this light bar to a selfie stick so that I'm not getting my arm in the shot. What is the most difficult part of this shoot, Ollie? Well, to be honest, it's trying to work out how to screw. We've increased to 2.5. Whew. So something to really love about trying this is that there are so many different variations that you can play around with. You can play out with different movement on here. You can deal with the size of this, the brightness, the color, flashing between colors, how long the shutter is open for, so how much light it actually captures. Just know that the options are endless, and if you're into light painting stuff, check out my TikTok. We do a lot of it on there, and the videos do well, so hopefully that means they're pretty good. But here are a couple of bangers from this shoot. There we go. How was that for a video? I thought that was pretty good. So yeah, if you want one of these, check out the link in the description. So many uses, and they're waterproof. I will be doing a full review, so we'll cover some other topics in these. Definitely one of the cheapest RGB light bars out there. Well, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and I will see you in the next one. I'm gonna go return my wife's shoe before she notices.